After going full-time with reselling in 2019, I have been trying to figure out what is the quickest way to grow my store, the quickest way to grow my income, and really, truly, what is the smartest way to do so. In this video, I'm going to be going over 4 different ways that you can make money with a reselling business in 2021 and how I plan to do it for the rest of the year. Let's go. So each one is a different opportunity, which is really why I wanted to break these 4 down. 2 of them are kind of cohesive, but this is the way that I'm going to be basically step-by-step operating my clothing business and shoes, accessories, kind of that category, if you will. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Ashley Wheeler. If you've already guessed it, I am a full-time reseller. This is how I make a full-time living. And if you are new here, I go over the items that I'm picking up, different wholesalers that I have been trying out. How are my sales from quarter to quarter, maybe some of the trends in fashion. So if that is something that's interesting to you, go and hit that subscribe button and perhaps that bell so you never miss a video coming out. Okay, so let's go step by step and then show you how I'm integrating in these different sources. So my clothing hits my house, whether it's a box coming to my doorstep or I have just purchased inventory at different stores. So at this point, we are going to process and sanitize, whether that sanitization is washing the items, stripping the items, or just steaming the items. Those are the different formats that I go about preparing the items to basically get ready to sell. In 2020 and kind of into the beginning of 2021, I created a Facebook group because I really liked this potential format of, so my items have been sanitized, they are hanging up on my clothing rack, getting ready to be photographed, but this is a great opportunity to do a live sale. So I've done some different live sales on Instagram. And then, like I said, I created a Facebook group to do this format. I figured, hey, if I've got new merchandise coming in, this would be a really great opportunity for me to give back to my local community. Because again, I am an online reseller, so I sell everywhere, but not necessarily always in my community. And I figured this would be a great way to give back. So I created this Facebook group, but let me just say, the amount of work it took to get people into my group, marketing that, then proceeding with trying to do payment, whether it's Facebook Pay or PayPal Pay, all of those different things, as well as then getting the address or connecting with the person for them to do pickup. It was just a lot. So I decided to kind of step back from that format because there was just so much legwork that I had to do on my end that I didn't feel like my time invested in it was really producing at the rate that I wanted it to. Fast forward to 2 months ago when a platform reached out to me asking if I wanted to give them a try. They were already having major success in Europe and they wanted to come to the States. So starting September 14th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I am going to be doing my first live on the platform called Galaxy. I am so excited about this because they absolutely are solving the problems that I was having with trying to do it on a Facebook group. They are providing the payment opportunities. I don't have to go out trying to search for those payments. It's a lot easier and cohesive in their lives to see something that you like and say, hey, I want to purchase that item. And they collect all the information as far as sending the item out. The great thing about this too is I still don't have to worry about being restricted to just my local area in Eastern Oregon. I am now going to be branching out into a whole audience across the United States, something that I didn't have to build. They have already been in the process of building. So that is so perfect. It excites me so much. And here's the best part about it. When you do a live like that, you haven't photographed your items yet. If you're using a virtual assistant or a listing service, you haven't paid for those things yet. So when I do the lives, I'm going to be able to say this item is going to be the cheapest you will find it until I proceed with going to my next 2 opportunities. If you would like to be notified of when I go live, my link is going to be down below. You're going to click on that and then you're going to say get notified. The nice thing about their platform is it's not another app, you guys. You do not need to download another app to enjoy these sales. You can actually go onto their website and watch the lives straight from your websites. Story time! When I used to work at the investment firm full time, I used to have a coworker who would be working and then she'd have a tab on her computer as she was watching boutiques that were doing lives, and she was always buying stuff. It didn't matter if it was lunchtime or just in the middle of the day, or she'd be so excited excited to share something with me, but that was what she did. And it made me realize when Galaxy came to me and said, hey, we'd love for you to be a part of our launch, I was like, this just reminds me of that. Anyone could be on a work computer, have the tab on, be able to jump over there really quick to watch something, never have to miss out on their favorite sellers, and still get the opportunity to purchase when they go live. So as I mentioned, my items are going to be cheaper when I'm going onto this platform. All I'm going to have to do is just hang and click film. Okay, so now the next step. Once I have completed a live, I've got some sales going through that direction. The items are already prepped to start photographing. So that is going to be my next step. I'm going to start photographing the items, bagging the items, proceeding with my virtual assistant and my listing service, and they are going to prepare the drafts on eBay. My next one absolutely has to be eBay. eBay is something that I've been doing for, I think it's about 2 years now, and I am so bummed that I didn't start it sooner, but I also felt like I really needed to get the foundation of shipping items, of playing around with sales, all those different things on Poshmark before I actually really worked and invested time into eBay. But as I've done that now, I've really found the amount of money that I'm making on eBay versus the amount of time I'm having to spend in it is far less compared to Poshmark. It is also a little more in-depth when they require the SEO, they require all these different drop downs. So it's not as simplistic as Poshmark where it's like, here's your title, here's your description, here's your brand, size. Like there's very few drop downs that you have to worry about, which is why I have virtual assistants draft on eBay first. eBay's a little more complex. It takes a lot more time in that regard, so I've hired out that service. But then it's super easy to cross-list over to Poshmark because all the information is there. Now you're just minimizing it down to what Poshmark needs. So my third one is obviously Poshmark. Poshmark does require you to share your items to help the items get up to the top when people are searching for brands, searching for styles. They still filter as just shared. So that is still a benefit to having a sharing automation system or having a virtual assistant who will share your closet, because I have seen items, whether I've relisted it or I have reshared it, sell within just an hour or two of me doing that. So I would still recommend that. The time is there that you need to put in to then receive the reward of items selling. But I think that it still makes sense for me to continue on with that platform. It's also tremendously basic when it comes to shipping items. You don't have to worry about, is this item over a pound, less than a pound, fitted in a flat rate, fitted in a non-flat rate, like all those different things that you have to consider on eBay. It's really easy now that I've been doing it for 2 years, but it does take a little bit of time when you're starting eBay to get the hang of the shipping and getting the hang of how they're pricing too. I feel like sometimes things you can price higher on eBay versus on Poshmark. I don't take the time to do that, but I've just noticed that there are certain brands that do well on Poshmark over eBay and vice versa. The other thing that I really like about having eBay as well as Poshmark is there are certain categories that are on eBay and do really well on eBay that Poshmark hasn't catched up with yet, which is totally fine. I still feel like you're hitting two different audiences, you're hitting two different styles, you're hitting different categories that might not be on others. So it just makes sense for me to continue with this being my step 2 and my step 3. The last problem that I feel like just drives me insane when it comes to being a reseller is space. I really wish I had more space in my home. We actually have 2,500 square feet in our home, and now that the older kids have graduated high school, they're kind of going out on their own, I do have more room, so I am blessed in that regard, but still, I have active right now I have over 2,600 items active right now. That is not including the items that have not been listed yet, you guys. Oh, it's such a problem. So a way that I've decided to continue working on being a volume reseller without having to worry about storing it all is creating boxes on Flyp. I don't know if you guys have heard of Flyp. I will do a video specific towards that once I get a little more understanding from it. But both Galaxy and Flyp are two things that I'm integrating into my business for the last half of the year. So I will be doing a recap on both of those platforms, letting you know the things I liked about it, the things that I didn't like about it. But one of the biggest things is I have been trying to find a way to do bundles for resellers. I understand that there are some people that still have autoimmune diseases that are really really concerned about going out on a regular basis to get inventory. I'm also aware that there are new resellers that are wanting to get started, but just don't even know what brands are great to pick up. So I feel like I have really a good knowledge as well as an opportunity to get a plethora of inventory. And so Flyp is going to be an opportunity for me to do consignment. And I'm so excited about that because I will still be able to get a fair amount of money back on these items, but I don't have to store them. I don't have to ship them. I don't have to price them. It just makes it so much more streamlined versus me just trying to create resale boxes at like my cost, or maybe just a little bit over my cost. It's a great way for someone to get comfortable with being a reseller, but not have to necessarily pick up all the items on their own. So between these 4 ways of being a reseller online, I feel very confident that I'm going to be able to grow my store towards the end of the year, see growth in that, and be able to be working smarter, even enjoy the holidays a little bit. Because I gotta say, Q4, it gets a little intense, but it's the time of year that I enjoy the most. So question of the day, have you tried any of these platforms? What were your thoughts on them? Did you feel pretty excited about them? You wanted to continue moving on with them, or were there some that you dropped? Leave it in the comments below. I'd love to have that conversation with you guys, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.